Hi guys, welcome back to a new video on Experiment Hero. I know I haven't uploaded for an entire month. That's because I moved houses. Just fun. Today we are going to JohnnyBoyRBX, I think. Like and subscribe if you like his content. Leave a like and subscribe to his channel. I already did, and let's just look with the first video.
One day you will wake up and see that your own mother has been replaced by an identical imposter. It's called Capgras syndrome, and it is one of the most disturbing brain glitches ever recorded. People with this condition can look directly at someone they love, their mother, father, husband, or even their own child, and swear they are not real. They recognize the face, they know the voice, they remember everything about them, but something deep in their brain feels wrong. The emotional connection is completely gone, so their brain creates the only explanation that makes sense. This person must be a fake, a perfect copy, an imposter pretending to be someone they love. Scientists think this happens when the part of your brain that recognizes faces disconnects from the part that feels familiarity. So your eyes say, that's your mother, but your brain says, I have never met this person before. And the scariest part is, no matter how much proof you show them, they may never believe you. One day you will wake up.
It's scary because it could really happen, and that makes it really scary because you don't want something like that to happen, but it could happen every time. Let's just go off to the next video.
Imagine waking up, looking in the mirror, seeing your face, touching your skin, hearing your own heartbeat, but your brain tells you none of it is real. You are dead, or so you think, but can still move around, jump, and hug your loved ones. You claim that you remember being killed by a speeding truck, mauled by sharks, somehow brought back to life the very next day. How is this possible? A few days later, you do something insane. You head straight to the mortuary and run right into the furnace. Not because someone is forcing you to, but your gut is telling you this is the right thing to do. Everybody around you thinks you're crazy, but no one understands what it feels like to belong in a coffin, buried underground. You are just a walking corpse. This is the Cotard delusion, and it is one of the creepiest glitches the human brain can create. Imagine waking up, looking in the mirror, seeing your...
One thing, he's just gonna make more videos like this, so if you don't like content like this, just click off. I found it really nice, explaining interesting stuff. So let's just go on again.
Imagine riding the bus to school and the bus driver winks at you like he knows something you don't. You get to class and your teacher...
The bus drivers from the Sun meme. Okay. Shut up.
Smiles at you the exact same way. At lunch, the cashier. On the walk home, a stranger across the street. Every single one of them is the same person. They've changed their face, their voice, their clothes, but it's him. He's been following you for weeks, maybe months, hiding inside everyone you meet. You try to tell your mom. She laughs and says you're being paranoid. Then she tilts her head and smiles the exact same way. You back out of the kitchen slowly. You don't sleep that night. You start avoiding mirrors because what if he's learned to wear your face too? You stop eating food anyone hands you. So you do the only thing that makes sense. You go up into the mountains with nothing but a tent, and no one ever sees you again because everyone you have ever loved is already gone and replaced. This is the Fragoli delusion, a rare condition where the brain becomes convinced that one single person is disguising themselves as everyone around you. And the worst part, to the person experiencing it, the proof is everywhere. Imagine riding the bus. Imagine sitting at the dinner table with your family, laughing at your dad's joke, and your left hand picks up the steak knife. You didn't tell it to, and you certainly didn't notice it until it was pointed at your brother. You grab it with your right hand and force it down into your lap. Your mom asks if you're okay. You nod. Under the table, your left hand is still trying. The next morning, you wake up, and it's around your throat, nearly choking you to death. At school, it knocks your books off the desk. It writes words you didn't think of. It reaches for the girl next to you, and you slam it against the desk.
No. Let's just go back a little. Let's go back a little. No.
It writes words you didn't...
Where are the words? That's no word. Words. That's not a drawing. That's a word. That's even words. What the fuck? Let's just
think of. It reaches for the girl next to you and you slam it against the desk until it stops. You start sitting on it, tying it down. But every time you forget, it remembers. One night, you sit in front of the bathroom mirror and just stare at it. This thing attached to you. Then you grab the knife you've prepared and swing it down. This is alien hand syndrome, a real neurological condition where one of your hands acts completely outside your control. Doctors call it the anarchic hand. Patients call it something with a will of its own, and it lives on the end of your arm. Imagine sitting at the... You have just been struck by a truck, thrown onto a metal pole. Your joints bend backwards. Your hands, legs, 8 ribs, all shattered. You can't move. You can't speak. You can barely open your eyes. You barely feel the shock of the...
Best way to start a video. You just died almost. How did you? Just a great way to start a video.
Defibrillator. You hear your mother scream. You see her tears stream down her face as you are carried into an ambulance. They tried to save you with blood transfusions, surgeries, nothing works. You slowly drift away as your family sits beside your bed. Doctors pronounce you dead. Then you are awake. You are screaming inside your own skull, but no sound comes out. Your eyelids won't open. You can't move. Everyone thinks you're dead. Days pass. You hear the funeral. You hear your little brother say goodbye. You hear the coffin lid shut, then the dirt, handful after handful, until the sound dulls, and there is only your own heartbeat. Faint, slow, alive. This is catalepsy mistaken for death, a real condition where the body shuts down so completely that even doctors can't tell you're still alive. That's why in Victorian England they tied strings to the bodies, connected to a bell on the surface, and somewhere, in a cemetery older than your grandparents, someone is still ringing. You have just been struck by a truck, thrown onto a metal pole, your joints bend backward. Imagine waking up in a cold concrete cell and you don't remember.
That was the first film I saw from him. This one is really good, I think. And this is our first content.
Imagine waking up in a cold concrete cell and you don't remember how you got there. You look to your right and there's another boy sitting against the wall. He looks at you and whispers, "Don't trust the guards. They're not human." You laugh. He doesn't. Days pass. By the second week, his voice is the only thing that makes sense. He tells you he's been here for months. He tells you the guards' hands are too long, that their eyes have slit pupils. They're waiting to harvest the ones who don't see it in time. You start watching the guards. One night, you see it. An arm bending the wrong way. A jitter when they turn their head. Then he tells you tonight is the night. There's a loose vent above his bunk. You help him pry it open. You crawl through. You run for hours through the woods. When the police find you, alone, half-starved, you scream that the guards weren't human. They look at you the way you used to look at him. They take you back to the cell. His bunk is empty. They tell you he was moved days ago, but you still believe him. This is folie à deux, a condition where one mind's delusion spreads into another through isolation. And the worst part, sometimes you never find out whose delusion it was. Imagine waking up in a cold concrete cell and you...
Why was there SCP-096? Let's...
Imagine walking downstairs and seeing your mother making breakfast, exactly like every other morning. Then she turns to greet you. You see it in her eyes. Something is wrong. You know for certain that this woman is not your mother. She's a perfect copy, down to how she cooks your eggs. You realize she's been spying on your family for years, and you don't know when they took the real one. You stop eating the food she makes. You don't look her in the eyes, but you feel her watching your every move. She tried coming into your room, so you lock your door at night. You start writing down things only your real mother would know, waiting for the imposter to slip up. She never does, and that scares you more than anything. Your dad says you need help, and that's when you realize they got him too. You just never noticed. One night she sits on the edge of your bed, crying, asking what happened to her son. And for just a second, she sounds exactly like your mother. Then, the feeling is gone. This is Capgras delusion, where the brain still recognizes a face perfectly, but the feeling of knowing that person vanishes. They look right, they sound right, but you will swear until the very end that a stranger is wearing their face. Imagine walking downstairs and seeing your mother. You're at lunch when your friends dare you to do a creepy challenge. They say you won't regret it. You agree? Go.
I find this one a little bit scarier than the others, but just let's go
home and wait until the night. You turn off every light, sit in front of a mirror, and stare at your own face. For a while, it's just your face. Then slowly, your face shifts. Your eyes don't sit right. Your mouth looks too long. You blink and it snaps back. You tell your friends, and they say to keep going. It's night 2, and this time it's different. Your face melts and rebuilds, but it's not yours. It's older and staring into your soul. He looks familiar. You look away, and don't tell your friends the next day. Night 3, you can't help it. You move toward the mirror like it's pulling you, and the stranger is already there, waiting. And when you finally look away, it doesn't. You sleep on the couch that night. The next morning, you see it again. Not in the mirror, but on the black screen of your phone. This is the Caputo effect, a real, documented illusion, where staring at your own reflection in dim light makes your brain stop recognizing your face and start creating a new one. You can try it tonight, maybe with a friend. Just don't be surprised by who's looking back. You're at lunch when your friend...
Yeah, okay. How I said, this one is a little bit scarier than the others, and... Why is there an ATM at school? He says, "School, what's there? Welcome." What can I score? Look. There on the right. Welcome to kindergarten. Bro. That's not kindergarten, that's school. He said, got milk and an ATM. Perfect.
Your father died when you were 9. He just stopped sleeping. The doctors never figured out why. 20 years later, you wake up at 3 a.m. and you can't fall back asleep. You think it's stress, but it's not. The next night's the same. Your eyes are bloodshot. You go out for a walk. Maybe this will work. It doesn't. So you sit on your bed until morning comes. By the end of the week, you haven't slept once. The sleeping pills do nothing. The image of your father starts surfacing. You start to remember things he said in his final weeks. About the figures at the foot of his bed. About the room shifting. Objects stretching. Changing into something else. Now you see them too. After 3 sleepless months, you've lost 40 pounds. You can barely lift your arms. The days blend, your memory fades. What day is it?
It doesn't matter.
You haven't slept since spring, but you feel it coming. So you stare at your ceiling because it's the only thing you can do now. This is fatal familial insomnia, a genetic prion disease that destroys the part of your brain that lets you fall asleep. There is no cure. Your father died 8 months after his first sleepless night. You don't know how long you have. Your father died when you were 9. He
Okay.
just stopped sleeping.
And that's why you should
Your blind
sleep.
mom is describing flowers on a mountain. She tells you the trail was beautiful and that she made it to the top. She doesn't know what went wrong because every morning she makes breakfast by pouring coffee into bowls, cracking eggs onto the counter. She tells you, you look good today, describing your haircut, the shirt you're wearing. It's all wrong. You stopped correcting her years ago. When you went to the doctor, he told you, her brain refuses to admit she's blind, so it invents what's in front of her. He said there's no cure, so you live with it. Then everything changed last month. She wanted to hike that mountain again. She just said she missed the view. Your dad said no, but she went anyway, early in the morning, and you followed. She walked like she knew every step and climbed for hours without falling once. And when she stopped at the ledge of the peak, she was a few feet ahead of you. She looked down and said it was beautiful. Then she stepped forward. This is Anton syndrome. The brain refuses to admit you're blind, so it shows you a world that isn't there and erases the moment you went blind so you never have to know. Your blind mom is describing flowers on a mountain.
That's good. That's
Your
scary.
son is asking you a question, thinking you're ignoring him. But your mouth won't open, and you can't write down the answer, because something happened 6 months ago that completely changed your life. First, you noticed your fingers were stiff. You worked long hours, so you blamed your job. Then 3 months ago, you started tripping. You blamed your shoes. Then your words started slurring, and you fell down trying to put on your shirt. Then you couldn't walk up your own stairs. Eventually, your family helped you to the doctor, and he told you the devastating news. The motor neurons that carry signals from your brain to your muscles are slowly dying. Your mind stays intact, but your body slowly becomes your prison. There is no cure, and it only gets worse. Your wife feeds you now, and every day your son sits at the foot of your bed, telling you what happened in school. What's worse is that you can hear every word, but you can't tell him you're listening. He thinks you've lost it, but still comes every day hoping it will get better. But it won't. This is ALS. Doctors still don't know what causes most cases, and by the time anyone figures it out, you will no longer be there to hear the answer. Your son is asking you a question, thinking Your favorite streamer just told you she loves you. She says it to the camera every stream. But tonight, you're certain she means you. You started donating small amounts. She read your name on stream and smiled. You feel your heart pounding. The next week, you see it everywhere. She wore your favorite color. Then she hung a poster from your favorite anime. Then she said your name again, in a video, even though you weren't watching live. You think she's been watching you too, and decide to tell your friends? They look at you like you're crazy. One day while watching her old streams, you see her street sign. You drive 9 hours and run to her house when you get there. You knock on the door. She opens it and you try to hug her. Her face goes white, and she backs into the doorway. Her boyfriend steps in front of her, asking who you are. She tells him she's never seen you before, and for a second, you don't understand. Then you realize it's a test. She's pretending in front of him. So you stand at the door for hours, watching the curtains. When the police come, you don't resist. You already know she's just waiting for them to leave. This is erotomania, where the brain becomes convinced that a stranger is secretly in love with you and sending coded messages. And somewhere right now, in a streamer's chat, someone is already on the way.
I should be just back and bro, SCP-096 just thinks he's in love with me. He loves me. What the fuck? What the fuck? Just go on, just go.
You randomly wake up at 7 a.m., but you're pretty sure you already did. You check your phone and see a notification. You walk to the kitchen and you see your mom is making breakfast. She doesn't look up when you say good morning. Then you wake up at 7 a.m. The clock says the same time. You check your phone, and it's the same notification as before. You walk to the kitchen. Your mom is making breakfast.
Shh. Quick pause. Sorry, I was back again. Let's just go on again.
But then you see the kitchen window is facing the wrong wall. You ask her if she's okay. She doesn't look up. You sit down at the kitchen table, and then you wake up at 7 a.m. again. But you look out your window and it's dark. The clock is the size of the wall. You don't check your phone and run to the kitchen. Your mom is still there. She turns to look at you, but her face has been reshaped. She says,
"Good morning."
You try to scream and nothing comes out. You close your eyes. You open them. You're back in bed. You close them again. You open them. You're in bed. You realize you've been trying to wake up for hours. This is a false awakening. Your brain stays asleep, but invents the experience of waking, sometimes in stacks of 15, 20, 30 in a row. And the worst part is, you have no way to prove you ever made it out. You randomly wake up at... You are walking to school one day, and you hear a camera click behind you. You turn, but the only person there is reading a newspaper. You tell yourself it's nothing, but the next morning, the same man is on the corner, reading the same newspaper, and you realize he's been there for months. That night, your mom asks how your day was. She's asked this same question 1,000 times, almost like a line in a show, so you test her. You say,
"Today was the worst day of my life."
and for half a second, she doesn't know what to do. Then she smiles and laughs. You realize everyone is faking it. The friend you've hung out with for years. He has repeated the same joke thousands of times. And the teacher who waits for you to look up before she starts teaching. So you decide to do something. You run out in the middle of class and go straight to that man on the corner. You go right into his face and start screaming at him. You beg him to let you go, to stop the cameras. People pull you off of him, and you wake up in the psych ward. You stare at the one-way mirror, certain the cameras are still recording. This is the Truman Show delusion, where the brain becomes convinced your whole life is staged. And through the glass, you can see your mom crying. And you'll never know if the people you love really loved you back. You are walking to school one day.
No.
A girl just suddenly started
Truman
dancing in
Show
the middle of
in real
math
life.
class. At first you start laughing with your
What?
friend. You are walking...
Sorry.
A girl just suddenly started dancing in the middle of math class. At first you start laughing with your friends. Your teacher is yelling at her to stop, but she doesn't. Her face is scared, like her entire body isn't listening to her anymore. Then you look at the boy beside her, and he starts doing the same. The teacher tells everyone to sit down, but then you see his own feet start moving, and you realize no one is coming to stop this. After 10 minutes, the only other person left started dancing too. Then the hallway, and then the floor below you. Hundreds of them now, moving like they can't feel how tired they are. You are the only one left. You press your back into the wall, and you cover your ears and look away. You tell yourself you're different, and for a while, it works. Everyone is dancing except you. Then your leg starts moving. You push it to the floor with both hands, but they let go on their own after a few seconds. You move off the wall and start dancing. This is mass psychogenic illness, the same thing that made 400 people in Strasbourg dance until their bodies gave out in 1518. And now you're on the ground too, while the rest of the school dances over you. A girl just suddenly started dancing.
It's basically just like a zombie apocalypse, but you don't really die, you just get knocked out basically. Yeah, okay.
You've been dead for 3 weeks, but your mom keeps telling you that you're alive. You yell at her, I swear I've been revived somehow. You then run up to your room, look in the mirror, and you know that's your face. You touch your warm skin and can still smell the bacon your dad is cooking, and it means nothing. You remember how it happened. A truck, 3 weeks ago. You still remember the sound when it crashed into you. You don't remember a hospital or waking up. Whenever you ask your family, they always swear you've never been hit. They tell you that you have a pulse, but every time you check, it feels like bugs under your skin. So they take you to a doctor. He shines a light in your eyes and says everything is working. You complain, but how did I survive being hit by a truck? They just look at you like you're crazy. Your mom holds your face and tells you you're alive, you're right here, you're okay. You want to believe her, but you just can't accept it. You come up with a plan later that night because no one else feels what you feel. When everyone is asleep, you walk to your local cemetery, find an open grave, climb down into it, and lie in the dirt. You nod to yourself and smile. This is Qatar's delusion, when the brain stops feeling its own aliveness and decides the only explanation left is that you were already dead. You've been dead for 3 weeks.
That's scary, but you
wake up and your fire alarm is blaring. Your house is full of smoke. Smoke fills your lungs. Then you feel a hand on your shoulder, and a calm voice says, stay low, I've got you. You live alone, and always lock your door at night, but the warm hand is pulling you forward, so you follow. The voice leads you through your own house like it knows it better than you do. Not the door, the window. You see smoke leaking through the door cracks. When your legs give out and you just want to lie down and breathe, it won't let you. Not yet, you're almost there. You crawl when you can't walk, and follow the voice like it's the only thing that matters. Now you can hear the sirens outside your house. Then there's breaking glass and red and blue flashing lights and grass pressing against your face. You made it. You turn to finally see the person who just led you out of a burning house. There's no one there. The firefighter tells you that you were the only one inside. No one carried you out. This is the third man factor, where the brain knows you absolutely cannot survive alone and builds someone to carry you through the danger, someone who was never there at all. You wake up and you're fired.
That's actually a nice video, I think. So
you fall asleep on your couch. Then you open
how many?
a stranger.
Some videos. Let's make 2 more
You fall
videos.
asleep
I
on your
think.
couch. Then you open your eyes and you can't move. Your arms and legs are frozen. The only things you can control are your eyes. You see the clock first. 3 a.m. Everyone in your house is asleep. Your eyes dart around the living room, and that's when you see a figure. It's looking right at you. You tell yourself it's a coat hanger, maybe a shadow. Then it takes a step. You try to scream for your mom upstairs, but your mouth won't open. You blink, and it's closer. You force your eyes to stay open, and now you can see its arms reaching for you. Your eyes are tearing up. You blink. It's standing at the end of the couch, and now you can hear it too. Every breath it takes leaves a cloud of mist. The TV light flickers behind the figure, and it casts no shadow. Suddenly you sink deeper into your couch. Something invisible and incredibly heavy is pressing on your chest. It leans down over your face, close enough that you can feel its eyes staring into you. You do the only thing you can do now. You shut your eyes. Your arm twitches. Your body snaps back to you all at once, and you bolt upright, gasping. The room is empty. Only 4 minutes have passed. This is sleep paralysis, when you wake up before your body does, and your half-dreaming brain fills the room with something that was never there. You fall asleep on your couch.
Okay,
Then you open
that
your
was the
eyes.
last video. So if you want to see more, and he also made a video, let's just subscribe to him. Say in the comments who I should react next to, and goodbye.